If you're brand new to car sales or you're thinking about getting into car sales, I want to talk about what you should be doing in your first 30 days, right? In this video, we're going to cover what you can expect and what you actually should be doing for you to be successful in car sales, right? And I'm not saying, in order to be successful, your very first month, you need to come out the gate swinging, right? Like I believe my first month in car sales, right, I only sold like 11 cars, right? And then I eventually grew into doing 30 cars consistently, right? But the things that helped me get there, I'm going to cover, what you should be doing. And also, like I said, what you can expect as a newbie into the car sales industry. So if you don't know who I am and this is your first time tuning into the channel, first of all, welcome. Right, my name is Corey Brunette. I got started into the car sales industry when I was only 19 years old. My first full year in the industry, I was able to make over 150K selling cars. And at 22, I was able to make over 200K selling cars, right? And I remember when I first got started into car sales, I didn't even know if car sales would be something that I'd stay in, right? I remember I was just searching for jobs that I can do that paid, a lot of income that didn't require a college degree, right? And I came across sales, came across car sales, went in it, and I ended up falling in love with the industry, right? So you that's watching this, and this could be your first 30 days, or like I said, you're thinking about getting in, right? Let's talk about first of all what you can expect, right? And the first thing that you can expect is that you're invisible. So expect to be invisible your first month, right? Like nobody knows your name, right? Customers are not coming and asking for you. Managers, you're not the priority person when you're trying to work a car deal, with your managers, and all of these things are normal, right? Until you prove yourself. Right? As you're going on and you start proving yourself, then obviously you become more relevant, you become more part of the actual team. And these are things that I don't overall agree with the car sales industry, but it's just the way it is, right? A lot of the times when you get into car sales, they kind of just throw you into the fire, and it's up to you to figure it out, right? But if you have that hunger, you have that drive, you eventually, will figure it out if you're searching, for the information, right? But you're going to be invisible. No one knows you. No one really respects you yet, right? Your managers, like I said, aren't really giving you that much attention as they're giving like the veterans when they're working their car deals. And you just have to go, put your head down, do the work, prove yourself. And then over time, as you're proving yourself and you're generating car sales and you become more of an asset, to the entire team, then you'll see, you'll start getting a lot more attention and respect. So the second thing you can expect, right, your first 30 days is that lot traffic is unreliable. This one seems to catch a lot of salesmen by surprise when they first get started, right? You think you're gonna, get into car sales and you're just gonna be able to, sit around and customers are just gonna come to you, right? Customers are walking in, things of that nature, right? Well, your very first full month, chances are the customers are probably not gonna be walking into you, right? They're probably gonna be coming in, to people that they already set appointments with. So you're gonna realize that you're gonna be walking up to people saying, hey, I'm here to help, how can I help you? Whatever the case may be, trying to introduce yourself, and they're gonna be like, no, I'm actually here to see this person. Or there are gonna be some days where, customers are walking in and then some days where they're not, right? And you're showing up to work certain days and, you probably don't talk to a single person. That typically happens when majority of car salesmen come with the mentality that they're just going to rely on the dealership, to get them the customers, right? And in your first 30 days, it's probably going to be a wake-up call that, probably the things that you were promised in your interview is not really what it seems like. Yes, customers are coming in, but are these customers going to be your customers? There's probably other guys that's been around for years that, are going to be competing with you for these same opportunities, and chances are they're probably going to get it first. The third thing you can expect is you'll feel lost. You're probably going to feel lost, your first 30 days in car sales, right? Everyone's telling you 50 different things, right? They're like, yo, shadow this guy, or, learn the inventory, or, try to learn the product, or, make phone calls, or stand outside by the door, whatever the case may be. You're going to be getting hit with so much information, it becomes information overload, right? Plus, you're probably not going to understand the language that's being spoken around you. Not literally, like, right? Obviously, if they're speaking English, chances are you probably speak English. If you're watching this video, you'll understand that. But what I mean by language, I mean like the car sales language, right? Like there's a lot of terminologies in car sales that you're probably going to be here, thrown around that you're just not going to understand. Like LTV, right? Which can stand, for loan to value. Or like ACV, which can stand for actual, cash value or actual car value, right? Or they're going to say, this customer was a laydown. You're like, oh, what the heck is that? Or, whatever the case may be. There's so many, terminologies and things that are just happening in your very first 30 days. And you're getting jam-packed with so much information, you're probably going to feel a little bit lost, which is normal. And number 4 is you'll probably question yourself. Chances are, as all of this is happening around you, you probably start questioning your decision whether you should have gotten into car sales or not. Right? You're going to be standing around. You're going to see other reps are closing deals. They're getting customers coming in while you're still trying to figure out how to work the CRM. Right? So you'll probably question whether you made the right decision of getting into car sales or not, which is fine. Right? Every top producer started here. Right? We all started in uncharted territory. We didn't know where we were going, but we kept going anyways. Right? And we figured out along the way. So that's normal for you to feel like this. Right? But just don't stay here, right? And we're going to talk about what you should be doing to overcome these things happening to you and staying in here basically forever, which a lot of car salespeople, they end up quitting, right? I believe 80% of car salesmen quit the industry in their first year, right? And only 20% of them, actually survive and make it past that first year. And very few of them actually continue to, keep growing and, make the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you can make in the car sales industry. So let's actually talk about what you should be doing your first 30 days in car sales. Number one, and basically this is gonna be like the umbrella for everything else that falls under here, is income producing activities. Listen, in case they didn't make it clear to you in your interview or your future interview when you sit down with the managers, if you're trying to get a job in car sales, you're getting paid off your production, right? You get paid commission. Chances are you probably get paid 100% commission, right? Some of you guys have salaries, or some of you get this draw that you think is a salary when you're new to the industry, and you have to pay that money back out of your commission, right? So you're getting paid commission, which means if you don't sell, you don't get paid. So your time at work should be focused on doing income producing activities. If it's not driving you closer to generating traffic, right? If the things that you're doing aren't helping you get closer to generating traffic or closing more deals, then this is not work, right? This is you avoiding the work. You should be making calls, you should be doing follow-ups, you should be booking appointments, doing deliveries, right? That's your real job. Every hour or every second that you spend not doing those things is not generating you income, it's actually costing you more money. This job can be very easy if you just simply focused on doing this where you're at work, right? A lot of people spend time, talking to, the guys in the break room about what car that they're looking to get or whatever the case may be, or, the game that just happened the other day or whatever it is, or the fight that's about to occur, right? You're spending time not working, not doing income producing activities, which at the end of the day is going to cost you money because, like I said, you don't get paid for the amount of hours that you put in, right? This is not your typical job where you're getting paid by the hour and as long as you're at work, right, you're basically generating income, right? This is not that. This is sales, right? So you're getting paid commission. You get paid based off your production. So every minute that you're not being productive, you're actually costing you money. Number two, right, what you should be doing is you should start building your digital presence and brand immediately. You should always take some time out your day, right, during the day when you're working to, actually start trying to build your brand, right? This is how you're going to grow in today's market, right? In today's day and age, a lot of customers are, starting the process online. A lot of customers are on social media, right? You should be trying to build your brand, posting, your customers, posting the inventory that you have, starting to try to get followers, following some people, right, that can follow you back, whatever the case, or just sharing the word with people that online and on social media so you can build your presence, right? Because you can start doing this from day one. You don't need, to wait till, you're experienced in the game to start documenting and building your own brand. This is an action that's only going to compound over time, right? If you first begin and you're a complete beginner, you're starting a brand new page, obviously it's going to take a little time to ramp up and build up. But as time goes on, you're getting more followers, you're getting more reach, more people are knowing who you are, you're getting people to share, your posts, your customers are starting to post you. This is only going to compound over time. This is going to start like the snowball effect, right? And as you continuously keep doing this, this is only going to benefit you moving forward. Number three of what you should be doing is avoid complacency. The moment you start feeling comfortable, you're probably going to be in trouble, right? This industry, it rewards momentum, right? The minute you start getting complacent, right, you're basically eating away from your future self, right? So a lot of you, maybe you're sitting at like 10 cars for the month, you start getting comfortable, and then you're forgetting that as time is, going forward, which it always does, right, you're not setting up your future appointments or your future customers. And this industry, like I said, you're getting paid commission, right? So you're consistently getting paid off your production. So as long as you're in this game, you should be avoiding complacency. You need to build the habits and build things around you or systems, right? Like starting your personal brand online, creating your digital presence. These are things that start to compound over time, so they actually work in your favor as time goes on. So always avoid just staying complacent and always keep momentum going, because the momentum in this game, once it starts to, get built, things get extremely easy for you. You'll just start getting random phone calls from people, random referrals from people that are saying, hey, I'm interested in buying a car. They come in, it's the easiest deals in the world, right? These type of things happen as you're building your momentum. And the only way you can do that is if you avoid staying complacent. Number four, more, right? Your first 30 days, you should be doing this, right? You should be learning the customers, not just the cars. Listen, everyone studies product knowledge, right? But very few people study actual people knowledge. In your first 30 days, you should be learning your customers. You should be learning, the common questions that they ask. You should be learning the common objections that they give you. Because over time, as you, constantly keep doing this, and as you're consistently, working car deals, you'll start noticing patterns. You'll start noticing the things that people actually want to hear. Learn the things that the customers actually want to hear, right? When you're working a car deal. If you can learn that, then this is how you start, being able to control the conversation and steering things in the ways that you want, because you already can anticipate, the type of questions that they're going to ask, and you're already going to know the type of answers that's going to move them forward. And number 5 is very simple, right? As a newbie, you should be asking a lot of questions. Listen, questions are going to be your best friend as a beginner in this car sales industry. Like I said, you're going to be, hearing a lot of information. You're going to be getting told a lot of, things that you should be doing, right? And you should just be asking a lot of questions. I remember my first couple of days in the car sales industry, the first few months, right? I used to always ask a ton of questions, right? I'm not just one of those people that just do exactly what I'm told to do without knowing why I'm doing it, right? I'm always going to ask a lot of questions just to figure out and know exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing the things that I'm doing, right? You should be asking a lot of questions, learning the industry, learning the language, learning the things that, like I said, your customers want to hear, learning, why your managers are doing this or telling you to do this, or why this is happening, whatever the case may be. You should be asking a lot of questions to everybody, because you don't know. The only way you're going to learn is if you sit and ask questions, right? Closed mouths don't get fed, right? Like they say. So the only way you're going to learn is if you ask, right? If you're not getting told by people around you like, yo, you ask a lot of questions, you're not asking enough, right? I used to get told that all the time because I was fishing for information. I was curious to learn, right? Curiosity is going to be your competitive edge, right, in this game. The fastest learners in this game aren't usually the smartest, right? They're typically the most curious. So ask a lot of questions. So if you're new to the car sales industry, or you're thinking about getting in, your first 30 days, this is what you can expect. And these are the things that you should be doing. So leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Glad you made it to the end of the video. I got 2 options for you. You can either watch the next video, or you can DM me the word sold on Instagram at @RealCoreyBurnett. If you're ready to take your car sales career to the next level, I'm looking forward to helping you out. More importantly, looking forward to meeting you. I'll catch you all in the next one. Have a blessed day.